Alrighty. And it is going live. It's live. Hey!
Hello.
Fantastic, yeah. Okay, I think everyone should be able to hear you. Just do a couple of tests. Wait for some people to flow in,
Yeah.
But yeah, hello everyone, welcome to Indie Dev Chat. This is episode 21. I'm here with Garrett from Tons of Hun. Hello.
Hello.
And yeah, today we're talking about some cool topics. Sound is good for both. Brilliant, I didn't even need to do anything.
Nice.
Even though before the stream I had some sound problems, that's fine. Just to quickly let everyone know, if you can hear a fan or wind or anything, I got my window open there. My fan's here. It's super hot in the UK at the moment, and I feel like I'm about to drop dead. So, if you hear any sounds, just know that's what it is, and hopefully it doesn't get too annoying. But yeah, we'll let some people roll in, and then we'll begin. And just quickly, I'm hoping to have a 4-person AD Dev Chat in a couple of weeks-ish. Not sure who's going to be on there yet, but we'll see. So I'm hoping that every 3 episodes or so we'll have a 4-person indie dev chat, and that's how it's going to go from here on out. So super excited, and I hope you're all excited too. Alright, awesome. We are up to 7 viewers. That's fantastic. So yeah, Garrett, would you like to tell everyone about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So my name's Garrett. I run the, company at where's the YouTube channel, Tons of Hun Studios, where I make weekly devlogs about making whatever game. Also, just add in, I'm 21. I'm a junior studying electrical and computer engineering. That's about it.
Cool. I'm curious, what does electrical computer engineering mean?
Yeah, so it's weird because they call it different things. It's at our school it's called electrical and computer engineering,
right.
But it's like 1 degree, it's not a dual major.
Mm-hmm.
But we learn the electrical side with circuits, and then we learn computer side about like hardware programming and
sweet.
AND gates, stuff like that. So
Uh-huh.
it's 1 degree. I'm not anything special. Just
yeah.
the most computer of engineering ones.
Yeah. Well, I've never even heard of it before, so I was like, what does that even mean? It sounds really fascinating. But yeah, that's cool. So yeah, when he said that he does weekly devlogs, he's not kidding. How long you been doing it for? Almost 80 weeks, isn't it?
I think. Is it this week will be 80 or less?
Oh my.
Wait. Yeah, no, I just posted 80 Sunday.
Jeez, yeah. 80 weeks. That is mad. And I'm curious, how's that been? Has it been tough to stick to that, or has it got pretty chill now?
It depends how you look at it.
Right.
I think I've said this to you before, but
You probably did.
it's almost easier to make one than to not make one in a way, where I've just kind of gotten the habit of it, and that the number kind of gets addicting the more you do it. I at the very least want to get to 100 weekly. There I might reconsider doing weekly, but yeah, I think it's been easier now because I've tried to make it as much of a template as I can, where I'm I still put effort into them, but I try to have a certain structure and certain shots, so it's easier for me to make. Because I'm I do like making devlogs, but I also want to make games, so I don't want to spend all my time making devlogs, but I still want to sort of have that consistency and the updates of doing devlogs weekly rather than sort of sporadically or longer periods of time.
I tell you, you should stop it, or if you wanted to stop the weekly thing, you should stop it at 104, right? Because then it's 2 years.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Dang, you got to do something special for 2 years. What did you do for 1 year? Didn't you do something, if I remember?
I basically, it was kind of like a lessons learned kind of thing. I just kind of talked about my experience. Yeah, and just kind of went through how they've changed and what I've learned from them. So I might do something similar, but I might also try to make like a compilation of all of them potentially. That might take a while, so I'm not going to promise anything. But
yeah,
we'll
52
see.
devlogs in one. That's gonna
Yeah.
be tough. So how's what is your game for those who don't know, and what are you working on?
Yeah. So right now it's a game called Strung by Three. I started 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically going to be like a martial arts combat stealth game.
Well,
Where
that's
you
good.
basically
You've
like
got the research for that.
yeah, exactly. Um, so yeah, it's good. It's taking a lot from like Assassin's Creed, sort of like Hitman almost as well.
Uh-huh.
Um, adding like strategy to combat with enemies and your combat rather than like a standard FPS game was using martial arts. I'm gonna try to add in different types of techniques and like blocks, strikes, kicks, and potentially other abilities as well. But that's the basis of it.
Awesome, awesome. And how has it been? Has it been good so far?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
3D,
I
right?
it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I have made 3D before, but my last game wasn't, so it's
Yeah.
a little new. But yeah, it's been going pretty well. I
Mhm.
still need to like I talked about it in a lot of my devlogs because like organization has been a big thing. Just trying to stay on top of it. It's not like a thing where I can just sit down like one day and like, all right, let's get everything organized for what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Because then by the next week, everything's already changed. So you kind of have to like keep updating it. So I'm trying to like if I get that down, like I'm getting better at it. I'll feel more comfortable with it. But the development has gone pretty well so far.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, that's cool. It's cool because I remember when we spoke. That was a while ago now. Must have been
It was like December or something.
yeah, December last year. Yeah, mad. Yeah, I mean, sadly nobody saw that. Or did they? No, I can't remember. I think something happened, but yeah, it was a really it's really interesting because I remember when you were working on Attila's Trek. Was it Attila's Trek?
It was Space Prevention Force.
Right. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
God. Yeah. It's because of the name of the devlog series. Like it
Yeah,
confused.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a little confusing.
But yeah, I remember when you were working on that, so it's quite cool. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think if I have any questions because I don't know. You sort of inspire me in terms of like like actual development stuff. Like when I watch your videos, I'm like, dang, there you go. I don't know, quite inspirational.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate that.
No, it's not a problem. But yeah, I feel like you can definitely see the structure in your videos, and that's why I like them. I think they're like, really well structured and stuff. So it's actually easy to to like know what's like coming and stuff.
Yeah, like to know what to expect. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that. It's sort of like a safe space, I suppose. Rob just asked, does your degree fall into your game dev and vice versa?
Kind of. Well, so it's electrical and computer engineering again, and it's not really computer science. We learned some stuff, like I've had a data structures course, but it's not too necessarily like I guess like normal programming,
Right.
Because we do a lot of like hardware programming, which is like literally programming like wires connecting to different ports and stuff, and on the lower level end. So that doesn't really help. I do, however, I think engineering in itself is a great opportunity. I still think computer science is good as well. But at least here, computer science is a math degree, and electrical and computer engineering is obviously engineering.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that presents better opportunities. One of which I haven't talked about it much. I work through my school. We do like VR and AR research, and that's not necessarily exclusive to like my major, but it's mostly people in my major. So that helps a lot. That basically what I do there is like I can't talk about it like too much because it's like some of it's confidential, but it's like it's at home for me, like compared to what I do with game development. So that's really nice, having that opportunity. But like in itself, what I learned in class, not really. It doesn't really apply to game dev.
That's cool. That's cool. I mean, I think it's nice to have a different avenues that you go through. So it's very fun. But yeah, so let's talk about like your other hobbies. I mean, I know you do martial arts, right? You know.
Yes.
How long you been doing that now?
I've been doing it since I was 5, so 16 years now.
Dang, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know how to what to elaborate on it upon, but you know, I don't know.
Yeah, no.
So how do you fit? How do you? Because obviously you put those in your devlogs, right? So like, how do you? Because obviously, I don't know. Like, how? Yeah, someone's asked the question I'm literally about trying to ask is how do you balance game dev, YouTube, karate, family stuff, and being 21?
Yeah. So like I know I said I've been doing martial arts since I was 5, and like honestly, I spend more time on an average week doing martial arts than I do game development and YouTube. Like martial arts is my main thing actually, which is I happen to make devlogs with the games, but I do spend a lot of time martial arts, whether that's in class or teaching or just working out by myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I spend a good amount of time with that. Being that now it's the summer, I have a lot more time, which I've been really gotten on that. So there's that. With game development, so on average, I'd say probably like an average weekday, I spend 2 to 3 hours doing martial arts in some capacity, whether it's teaching or being a student. And I spend less time on game dev, so you can kind of work out how much I average spend on that. So it's really like I'm not full-time game dev, so it's not like YouTube and game dev is like more to do, but it's not like too taxing on I guess my schedule. And then work, that's not too much, like, at least since through my school it's research work, so I can only do a max of like 25 hours a week, so that's not a whole lot. And then family, I'm at home right now, and so I do spend time with my family as well, since like everyone's home right now because of the current world situation. And then being 21, that probably takes the back burner. I probably not much of a surprise, but I'm kind of introverted, and I guess like I want to say nerdy because like if I said I did martial arts, I don't really sound much like a nerd, but excluding that, I am nerdy, so I don't really go to parties and stuff, so it's not like
you're an active nerd.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. So
So obviously you said that you're doing a handful of things, a bunch of things. So I'm curious as to, like, if you had to choose one that you would be doing for your future, like prominently, just that you could do the others, but like they had to be one day a week. What would you choose? So if you had like 2 days for your, like, I don't know, whatever things you wouldn't choose, and then you had like 5 days where you had to do the thing you chosen.
So you're saying like right now, or like as a future career kind of thing?
Right now, if you had to choose something you'd had to do 5 days a week, and you couldn't dedicate anything else to those 5 days, what would you choose?
Right now, it'd be martial arts.
Yeah.
Like, and that's kind of like a no-brainer for me.
Yeah.
I just really do enjoy it. Not like I don't enjoy game dev, but like martial arts has been my first passion, hobby. So yeah, but if we're talking like, it's weird because if we're talking in the future, then career-wise, I'm looking towards game development, because I think the biggest reason really is because there's not too many avenues with martial arts to make a career out of. There is still some. Like I could open up a school, I could compete professionally, but that's not happening. And then I could just be like a martial arts like influencer, which that something may happen soon with that.
All right.
But yeah, so I think it's at least like combined with my degree and doing like side projects, I think game development is the better career strategy. But in terms of like what I really love, martial arts is first.
Mm-hmm. So Rob also asked, do you get a chance to play games much? If so, what ones? Do you get to enjoy them?
Yeah. So I do. I'm not gonna act like I'm a productive, like productivity mule. Like I do take breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of games, recently I've been playing a lot of Overwatch. It's kind of like Overwatch and like Battlefield, Titanfall, like those like massive like multiplayer FPS games. They're kind of just like my go-to games. Like if I'm just like don't really know what to play, like I always have fun playing those.
Mm-hmm.
I guess say do you get to enjoy them? I guess what you're probably getting at is, I know you've talked about it before, is that being a game developer, like do you get to enjoy games anymore? Because then you end up just
do you
playing
just
games,
analyze them or?
yeah, be like, oh, like I think this is really like a picture, it's not a model, or be like, okay, how they design this level, or like if I were to recreate this mechanic, like how would I do it? Like I do still think of that sometimes, like when I'm playing games, I sort of analyze them. Um, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah. But I assume because you do so much stuff, you sort of know how to dedicate times to that stuff. So then when it comes to like breaks, you know to dedicate that break as a break. I feel like that probably is how your brain is sort of functioning, to be fair. Because I know for me, I love games. Obviously, I'm making games. I mean, I don't think, it'd be a bit dumb if I didn't like games and I was making games. But, I feel like, I analyze games way too much. But one game that actually I haven't really been too, analytical. Analytical? No, that's not the right word. But I haven't analyzed it as much is the the Fall Guys game. I've found that a lot. I haven't really analyzed it as much as I would do for other games, which I think is quite fun because usually I analyze every game. So it's definitely weird. But I did actually I say that, and I did analyze it a little bit because I'm literally making a video essay about it. But when I'm actively playing the game, I haven't actually analyzed the game, which I think is cool because sometimes or most of the time for me, when I'm playing games, I'm analyzing them, and then sometimes when I'm playing a multiplayer game, it's literally the worst because my friends it's tough because you're playing a game and then a menu distracts you and you're like, whoa, I wonder how you could do that menu. And you write it down. Yeah, it's funny. I feel like it's definitely I wouldn't say it's a bad thing because it's also a way of learning, because even when you're on your break you can sort of say, oh yeah, I'm staying productive. I'm still doing a little bit of work. But yeah, especially when developing for mobile and Xbox and stuff, because obviously you have to have you have to take into account performance and stuff like that. When you play on any of those or consoles or anything like that, when I'm analyzing those, it's actually quite helpful because I can sort of see what they've done to make it more better for performance and stuff. And for example, I'll give you an example about the Xbox one. I've been porting to Xbox for about 2 weeks now, and oh my god, it's the worst. It's the hardest thing in the world, but it's gonna be worth it. And I feel like it might be a good idea for me to put motion blur on, because that's something that a lot of console games do put on. They put on some motion blur, and then it makes it feel there's no lag and stuff. But it's weird because you would feel an Xbox One X would be able to run a 2D game, but there's a bunch of stutter. It's definitely annoying because considering also the Xbox One X has more RAM than my PC. This one has 24 gigabytes of RAM, so it's a really weird number. But it is weird. But I don't know. I feel from that standpoint, analyzing has been helpful. But with mobile and stuff, it's actually really funny. The game runs better on mobile than it does on Xbox.
Really?
It doesn't. I'm like, what?
That's weird.
Yeah, so I don't know what it is, but the workflow between like developing for a console, developing for a PC, and developing for a iPhone or Android all at the same time is weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
I've actually got a two-part series that I'm working on at the moment, where it's literally going to be about me porting the game to Xbox and to my phone, because I feel like it's quite different, because not many developers talk about the porting experience, because it doesn't really happen that much in terms of like indie development, But like,
Yeah.
I feel like it could be quite inspirational for some people. Maybe, I don't know.
I think it'd be cool.
I feel like seeing the fact that like I'm a 17-year-old and I'm porting a game to an Xbox, like it could hopefully like inspire people to do the same. Like that's the whole thing with my age and stuff. I sort of use it as a way of like inspiring others, because like I started game development when I was 13, 14, so I feel like I can say loads of people can do that. And YouTube, definitely, you can definitely tell that a lot of the audience, they are like pretty young. They're like 13, 14ish. Like that is the majority of the audience of basically every video. Like Danny's videos, that's like a lot of it is like teenagers, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really interesting, because I'm like, yo, that's weird, because back when I started, like there were nobody back when I started was like was the same age as me. Like everyone, like when I say everyone looked at me and was like, what? They didn't, a lot of people didn't believe it, and it's especially something that when it comes to like family and stuff, like it's definitely something it was initially difficult to like persuade people that this is actually the way I'm going. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure if you've had the same thing, because obviously you do so much, they probably don't really like worry about that. But I don't know, maybe you have. Have you faced anything about like your your family like not accepting it, or have they been quite supportive of it?
Yeah, they're supportive of it. As long as I'm like doing so, like I'm not just like lazy. Like I'm
Yeah.
doing stuff. And like I think they're great. At least like the standard. Like if I keep my grades at least decent, then I'm pretty much good to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it helps. At least for me to like have other stuff too, where I'm not like on the one hand I might be not the best. I'm not like 100% in one thing.
Yeah.
But that also like leaves me options for other stuff. So like there's
Mhm.
still sort of stuff like to fall back on.
Yeah.
So I like always essentially have something that like something like going for me.
Mm-hmm.
Which I do like.
Yeah, that is interesting, because I always find that's quite an interesting topic, because so many people like they all have different experiences with like their family, like worrying about it. And so I think it's like as Rob just said now, it's like when you're young, like it's not really something that you really like that's something you're always worrying about. Like when you're like when I was my age, what? When I was like 13 and like getting into it, it was definitely difficult to sort of like not let that be a thought at the front of your mind. But that's something that that's something that I sort of started to not really care about, I suppose. Like I just sort of started getting on with it, and here I am like 4 years later, and I'm finally doing what I love to do. But it's still not like perfect. Like for like game dev is definitely something that it's hard to fully get into the industry.
Yeah.
And like I am hoping that I can like get into it fully when I'm like in the next couple of years after like school. Like I'm really hoping I can like be stable on it, so then I don't have to go to university. But then otherwise I'll go to university. Someone said that they started while they were in the single digits. Yeah, I started. Well, I mean, I guess the first game I made was when I was 7, because I made it in Scratch. But I don't know. I don't really like remember it too much. But I was 10 when I started programming, which is mad. I don't know. something that's I've always sort of gravitated towards. It is interesting. But yeah, like, so going with the whole game dev industry and stuff. How are you with like working solo? Oh, and also actually, Rob just asked a question that I forgot to ask. How does Garrett approach game design for a new game? That's a good question.
Kind of hard to say. Like, I don't know. It's weird. Like,
would you write it out, or would you just go into it?
I guess it depends, kind of. Like, well, I guess the basic of it is that it's weird. I don't know if this happens to most people, but like when I'm falling asleep at night, I keep like my phone and like I have Trello on my phone, open next to me, and like when I'm falling asleep, like as I'm falling asleep, I'm just like thinking about like game ideas and stuff. So like I'll just like be sleeping like on my head for 5 minutes and then like get up quickly and then write something down and then back and like do that like 3 times before I fall asleep.
Yeah.
So basically it just starts with a bunch of random ideas, hopefully somewhat related. So then I can start like combining them together. And I kind of talked about it a little bit in some of my early devlogs. I basically just try to like funnel it down where I take like everything that's random and then like, all right, let me organize it into like what's gameplay, what's story, what's art, and then like have all my ideas there and then kind of like condense it down as much as I can. Nerman said the same thing, that he does the same thing. But yeah, so I basically just try to funnel it down and then get sort of like a solid idea, and then almost like work backwards from there and be like, all right, what's like the main thing, like what's the main like mechanic or whatever.
Yeah.
So like for Strong by 3, it's a martial arts combat game where you like get to fight enemies to like get objectives. So I have that and then kind of branch back out from there and be like, all right, how does this mechanic work? So it's definitely random at the start and then try to condense it down and then work from there.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. I don't know. I mean, I'm also the same. I think like when you sleep, it's like when your mind really starts thinking about game ideas.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't stop. You're like, no, get out.
Yeah.
Go on, I'm trying to sleep. Or like you'll wake up with the idea and you probably like dreamt about it. Like that's what I feel like. I feel like when we're in my dreams are probably just like game ideas. I'm like, oh yeah, great idea. And I write it down and I'm like, what is that? What is that idea? Terrible. Yeah, I mean, for me and Head Tilt, our sort of game design sort of thing is that, I mean, Millions and Minions was made on the basis of the Ludum Dare 45, like, what's the word? Like, yeah, the theme of it. Because obviously the game was initially made in 48 hours for Ludum Dare, and then we just elaborated on it in like, yeah, it's kind of crazy that like now, like 11 months later, you know, we're about to release the game fully. It is weird. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, on our next project, we're actually trying to really like make sure we plan it out, because that's something that we had problems with this game. Like, we planned everything out at the start, but like the storyline, we don't talk about the storyline. That was just terrible.
we don't talk about the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess going off of a question as well, talking about game jams. Rob asked if I do game jams. Yes, but not so much recently. I think the last one I did.
The Ultimate Game Jam is one.
Yeah, Ultimate Game Jam. I guess that was the most recent, right? Yeah, I guess the Ultimate Game Jam.
Yeah.
Before that, I did like a week-long itch jam. It was for Cyberpunk Jam, and I made Cyber Punch and Kick. Which that's I think the best part about that was a name. But I did that, and I've done 3 Ludum Dares in the past, and then a few others. So I've done a fair amount of game jams, not so many recently.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try to do the Ludum Dare, I think, in October.
Oh yeah. that'd
But
be
yeah,
a
I
good one.
do really enjoy them.
Yeah.
They are a lot of fun. I especially like Let 'em Dare.
Yeah, yeah.
That's just like it's just like a weekend and be like, all right, let me just commit fully to this, and then
Uh-huh.
you come out with the game, which is kind of awesome.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, the last one I did was the GMTK one. Which is
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
recent actually. But before that, I hadn't really done much. To be fair, I don't think I've. Yeah, I haven't really done many game jams this year. I've done about 2. Usually, I do quite a lot. But I don't mind. I'm pretty happy with how much I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Danny asked if you would be joining the upcoming one.
Yeah, I more than likely will. I think it's October, so
Yeah.
that should be good. And if I have homework, it will wait.
Yeah. How does day-to-day game dev differ from game jams? Do you do anything differently?
I I mean,
I think you
like, kind
crushed
of?
Garrett.
Crush, yeah. I mean, like, it's just really like condensed, like it's definitely different day to day because it's like 2 days rather than like months.
Yeah.
But like with the example of Let 'em Dare, like at least for me, my time zone, it's usually like Friday night at like 9 that the theme gets announced.
God, that is
And-
terrible. I'm sorry. I'm so.
I mean, yeah,
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know, because like it's basically like that night I try to like get an idea. Like I don't need to make anything yet. I just need
Yeah.
to get a solid idea. And then next day I start developing. I really don't do a whole lot of organization for
Yeah.
game jams. I kind of just
I
like
mean, I don't think many people do. I mean,
Yeah,
I try to. I do have a Trello board, but usually I just sort of forget about the Trello. It's sort of on like it's over here whilst I'm like typing away. I'm like, oh no, I'm feature creeping.
yeah.
Like that's
Yeah,
one
but-
thing that I think gets a lot of people in game jams is that they don't plan early. I think people are getting better at that now though. Like, I mean, at least I am. Like, I'm actually dedicating a little bit of time, like straight after the theme, to just coming up with about 4 or 5 ideas, and I'll pick the favorite one, elaborate on it, and hopefully within 2 or 3 hours I'll have the idea and I'll just do it. Because there's usually the first idea is usually the best, but you never know because you tend to not do very well.
Yeah, it depends. That's one of the nice things about Let 'em Dare is that at least how they've previously done the theme voting is that it's kind of like it's like a community thing where you vote on like the top themes, and then from a list of like 20 on the day they pick the most one, or they reveal what's the most picked one.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll literally like that Friday, like before they actually announce it, I'll like put all 20 ideas and then like 20 themes and then start listing ideas for each. So at least start with something. So it's kind of cheating, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna do. But yeah, I really don't do a lot of organization for it, and then also not much testing. I guess that's a bad thing. Like it's usually rushing at the end to get something.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's something I've got better at, especially because now I don't really work solo. I don't do solo development anymore. I used to do it, but I don't really enjoy it anymore. So now I'm going full team. I'm fully dedicating myself to teamwork and stuff, and I love it. But yeah, I mean, my Trello is probably got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 lists. But you got to remember, like, I'm releasing on 3 platforms, so that's like at least 3 done, like, sections, and like 3 different like backlogs and stuff. So it's a lot. But you get used to it, and I like it. But yeah, what about source control? Because I always find that interesting. How do you how's your backing up of your games? How do you go about it?
Yeah, historically not great. I do have like a external hard drive that I put all the files on every week, but now I've been using actually Uni Collab, even though I'm working alone. It is a version of source control, which is kind of nice, and it's built straight in. I don't know if that's like by default you can have it, but I have the uni student plan, so that I guess lets me do it. So that's been my version of a source control. I kind of just want to like set up GitHub to not even necessarily use, but just to learn how to use.
Yeah.
I know Dr. Lang in the chat has posted a video on how to do that. So I'll probably go back and try that, at least just to get it working. Even though I don't have to use it, just know how to use it.
Yeah.
So that's been a thing I know in the past I haven't done well, but I'm trying to do better.
I even do it for game jams now. So
Really?
yeah, I never used to really use it. Last year, if you asked me about GitHub, I'd be like, no. GitHub's for losers. That's why I probably said. Now, I probably didn't say that, but you know, now I don't. It's just sort of like muscle memory now. Like I just sort of get the GitHub repository done as soon as I can. It is fun. I mean, I love sort of just like fun. I mean, it's not fun. It's just sort of like now I just got used to it, sort of thing. GitHub is for losers, but not losers of code. Yeah, exactly. Like
Words of wisdom.
I've been using GitHub for it's probably been about a year. Because our team, we used GitHub from almost day one. Because initially we were using Unity Collab, but then we were like, yeah, no. So we switched over to GitHub. GitHub is for nerds. Well, I guess I'm a nerd.
Yeah, only orange juice drinkers use GitHub.
Or no, I drink milk. Danny, don't attack me. He starts like a revolution. Yeah, man. I feel like, you know, the whole management stuff, like the organization stuff, is super important, but it's always overlooked. I think it's like something that a lot of people take for. They don't even like think about it, but then they're like, oh god, oh no, what have I done? You know, when they lose their project, then they're like, fuck. So
yeah, exactly. It's definitely a thing, especially when working on teams. Like it's very important.
I mean, you can't. I mean, I don't unless you like sent your USB device every time you made like an update, and you just like gave them your version. I don't know.
And sit across the room and be like, a cat.
No, it's fallen in my drink. Yeah. Exactly. Rob just said being able to wind back time is super helpful for devlogs. I'd agree. Like when you fix a bug and you want to show the bug again, you're like, revert. Let's get all these compiler errors back. It's weird. I love it though. I feel like it's definitely helpful. But I guess that goes into solo and teams. Because obviously, me and you, we work differently. Because you work solo, I work in a team. We work in a team for a while now. So, tell me, have you ever thought about working in a team, or is it something that you aren't keen on?
Yeah. So yeah, I wanted to talk about this because we're good differing perspectives on it, I guess. So yeah, like for pretty much every game I've done so far, I've worked alone. Like I've gotten assets from like different places, but I haven't worked with like a freelancer or anyone specifically yet to do like something specific for the game, because I don't, like, for example, I don't really do too much sound and music anymore. But yeah, so I work solo. I definitely would consider working on a team. The reason why I do solo now is basically, well, more so at the start, is that I kind of wanted to try everything. Where I was like, when I was just like learning about game development, like, oh, like maybe animation's cool, or maybe like level design or programming or art. Or like I kind of just wanted to try everything, get my feet wet, so I can at least like learn everything and have some sort of experience doing it. And then more so now, the more I've done it, I kind of learn more what I like. Like for example, I like the top things maybe I like programming. I like environment design. And so I guess those are the top. And so like I'm sort of trying to shape with like this game. to put more of a focus on that. So like I'm still probably gonna end up doing most things, but the majority of things will be the things I like.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes it better. And then also the aspect of not working in a team right now is thinking career wise is that I at least like when I make a portfolio and stuff, I kind of want it to be mine. I don't know if that's necessarily selfish or not, but
No.
I kind of just want to like focus on my thing right now.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think that like being on a team would produce better games. But like that sort of combined with sort of like wanting to try everything still, because like I've been doing this for a while, but I still haven't experimented with everything.
Yeah.
So that's kind of just the reason why. Like I'm not opposed to working on teams, like especially being an engineering major. Like I work on teams all the time. I work on teams at work. I work on teams. There's teams in martial arts in a sense with the other instructors. So it's not like I'm anti-people, anti-team.
Yeah.
But like just for this specifically, I just wanted to be mine in that sense.
Yeah, that's quite interesting because me personally, I'd actually argue against the whole like, the whole putting the stuff on the portfolio and stuff and making it yours and stuff. Like, for me, I feel like if you can show off the fact that you've worked in a team, for me that's something like, you know, that like I would sort of like what's the word? That's why I like working in a team, because I feel like I actually learn a lot more when I'm in a team. Like I've learned so much in this past year, and it's like been much faster because you've always got that like motivation of the people around you and stuff, and like motivating you to like put the best out there for them as well. So it is interesting. I feel like it's definitely something that I'm like, I wouldn't like, to give you some perspective, I wouldn't go back to being solo. Like I've worked both solo and in a team, and there's a bus outside. I literally got a bus stop outside, which doesn't help. But yeah, like for me, like I fully just work in a team from now on. I can't go back to solo. I've tried it. I've tried like making prototype games and stuff, but like I don't find the same fulfillment as I do when I'm in a team. Which I think is very good in a lot of senses, because it's what I enjoy. Like I've definitely found like what I enjoy in game dev, which I guess is why I started when I was working solo, and I realized what was like wrong for me, and like why I wasn't doing like super well, and like I realized it was because like I couldn't do artwork and stuff, and you could argue that a bunch of indie games, they've become successful with no artwork and stuff, but like for me, I want my games to look good, I guess. So I put out an advert on Twitter, and then got a message back from an artist, and then that was
there you go.
That was how it started. But yeah, I mean, artist and programmer is like that combo has definitely been super fantastic for me. Like Acethio, the artist, he is also a programmer as well, and we all do all take part in the design choice and stuff. And then like further on into development, we found out that the game itself was like lacking in like music and sound design and stuff. So we tried to make music, we tried to do sound design, and that's we sort of were like no, because we wanted this game to be a commercial release, and we wanted it to be like a good standard. So again, I asked around, and we've now got 2 musicians and a sound designer, which has really, really helped so much. But yeah, I feel like now I've got like the perfect team size, and this is what I want to stick to. Like 4 or 5 people is pretty perfect. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff when you do get into a team. There's a lot of stuff that goes into keeping that team stable and stuff. Especially when it comes to like meetings and stuff, because like at the start you don't really have that many meetings with people, but like a year in, when you're like starting to really be more business minded. Like the amount of meetings you have is like it gets crazy. Like I probably have like a meeting every 2 weeks or so. Like I'd probably say. I mean, obviously I've also have like indie dev chat, right?
Yeah.
So I sort of got that experience, and I think indie dev chat has definitely helped. With like, you know, anxiety in that sense, like, you know, speaking in front of like these business people and saying, "Here's my game," you know, it's definitely tough. Like when I went to a convention in February, I'll tell you, it was very very interesting. It was mad, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I can go back to being solo now. It's weird. Like, I feel like
no, fair enough.
Like I did think about doing GMTK solo, but even that I was like, I don't have this. It's not there for me anymore. So I literally found a random team, like wherever it was. I asked on Twitter. I was like, "Does anyone want a 3D modeler?" And then I ended up making a game with them. So that's quite interesting. Will Garrett make a karaoke game? I think you might have meant a karate game.
I mean, either one's cool. Like karaoke's cool.
Oh,
I sing in the car all the time, so.
Imagine trying to make a karaoke game though. Like you can imagine how irritating that would be. Like you'd have to literally sing to test it. And like unless you're good at singing, you're not gonna be able to test it enough. I think you're onto something, Rob. Let's see a karaoke.
Karaoke. That'd be cool. Yeah, like I really like I played a ton of Just Dance like on the Xbox, like with the Kinect. So like something like that where it's like Just Dance and you sing, and instead of dancing you do like karate. Like that. Oh, that'd be cool. Like I like do that in VR as well.
Yeah.
Like a VR, like it's like super hot VR, but you use martial arts and
it's
you have
like
to sing while you do it.
It's like Beat Saber, but you have to sing at the oncoming obstacles.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
It would be cool. Maybe like every time you like sang like the correct lyric or something, like maybe like a note came out of your mouth and it literally like shot at the enemies. That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be sick.
You're. I think you've inspired Garrett.
Yeah. All right, next game. Here we go.
I mean, that would take. I dread to think like the technical stuff behind that, like the speech recognition.
Yeah, and doing it like in real time, like.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure speech recognition probably isn't that hard. Because I think there's a Unity package, so. I could be wrong. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see.
Beat Saber Guitar Hero with RPG elements.
There you go.
How about you make an MMORPG?
Yeah, you know.
I'll
kind of.
I think it's funny
go back.
When,
go ahead.
No, go on.
I was just say I think Rob asked earlier about like my dream game, like if money and time are no object.
All right.
Yeah. It's not an MMORPG, but if do you know the game PlanetSide 2?
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's basically like that, where it's like a whole massive battle where you're like there's 3 teams and you're fighting for territory. My dream game is basically that, but it's on a planet and 4 moons, and you can basically be on like a moon, like fighting, and then get in a spaceship, go like into space, have a space battle, land on another planet, and then fight there. It's like basically like essentially like an MMO, like PlanetSide essentially. That's my dream game. Like that's like that. I think that's really like the first major game idea I had. Thankfully, I did not pursue it as my first game. Thankfully.
God. Man.
But
if you went down
that
road,
I had it.
You'd still be working on it.
Exactly. But yeah, I had it like. I still have it. Like I have pictures of it. Like I wrote out. I just like wrote out like the opening like sequence and like how the story, like the backstory of it. Oh, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's sort of like my dream game. Basically, like a massive, like MMO FPS like that.
I mean, it's kind of funny talking about that karaoke game. I don't even know how you pronounce that, right?
Yeah.
Like with the whole like songs and stuff. A quick little like I guess sneak peek. I guess. like our next project that me and my team are working on is like it's about like music and stuff. It's an FPS that responds to like the beat of the music and stuff. So that is gonna be cool. But yeah, I mean,
I think
I think those games do pretty well because like it really immerses the player. Like even if the game is like really like, I guess, I don't know, even if the game's not super immersive out like normally, like if you put like a beat in there and everything's responsive to the beat, then it would make like the player really feel into it. And like I feel like music's very powerful in games, like no doubt. Like you can definitely tell.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think like stuff like Super Hot. I think Pistol Whip is another game where like it's sort of shooting with the music. But yeah, I think it's cool because it like makes you sort of like feel like a superhero.
Yeah.
Like also adding into like the career thing. I guess the fourth option for a martial arts career would be like James Bond or like John Wick or something like that.
Yeah, well, like a stunt.
No, like yeah, like a spy or something, or like stunt work or a spy. Like that. If I had potential to be a spy, I would do that.
I mean,
but
wait, better tell the world. Break rule 1.
yeah. Well, no, I'm not a spy yet, or am
guys,
I?
Maybe.
But
he's not
cool.
introverted.
But yeah, like,
he's actually, and that VR research he was talking about, that's confidential for another reason.
But yeah, like I think like stuff like that, especially doing martial arts with that, like watching movies like John Wick and James Bond, like how they're like on the beat, like it's really seamless. Like there's like one guy here and like they turn around another guy. It's like it seems like that. Like I think that's sort of the feeling you get with games like Super Hot or like these like VR games.
That's like where the inspiration for Super Hot came from. To be honest, it felt like when I was playing that, it felt like I was in the Matrix. Like every time I played it, I was like, oh yeah. And I think Super Hot's also one of the games that, even though it's really short, like, because I'm not sure if you've played through the game like fully, but like the game's not actually that long. So like the fact that even though it's not that long, like the game itself is actually very replayable. It goes to show like how important like music is in games. I think because I mean, does Super Hot even have music? I don't even know. I don't think it actually. I don't think it does.
It's got to be very subtle, if any.
Yeah, I mean, I think the sound effects is something that that's definitely where it prevails. I think.
Yeah.
It's like
just the exploding sound effect is so satisfying.
Yeah, and like the fact that everything just slows down, like even like the sounds and stuff slows down. Mad.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're down to the question time. So if anyone has any questions, fire away at Garrett and or me, and ask any questions you have, and also tell me who you'd like to see in the 4-person indie dev chat. It can be Garrett if you want him here. You just say. It's not like it has to be someone different every time. Okay, Joe asks, "Are you a gamer?"
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I think
not as much as I used to be. Like, I have my my Xbox 360 days where that's like all I did. But yeah.
If you could work on any existing released game, what would it be? To be fair, I kind of want to work on like Fall Guys right now. I feel like it'd be quite fun. Like, I feel like the work environment, because I've seen like because they did these like a couple of these devlogs, right? And like I really like thought they were really fun, and like I'm just trying so hard not to look at Danny's message.
I saw.
But yeah, like man, that was really. I feel like working with those guys would be really interesting. Like I don't know. That's probably what I'd work on. What would you work on?
I don't know, I'd say. Well, I mean, I guess I could do either one. Probably Kerbal Space Program.
Oh.
They announced 2 not too long ago. It's not released yet.
It's gonna have multiplayer as well. I was like,
yeah, dude. The trailer for KSP2, like the announcement trailer, the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Oh man. But yeah, like so, I think that'd be cool. 'Cause I'm pretty sure they use Unity as well.
Do they? I don't
But
know.
I'm not 100%, but yeah, that'd probably be something
Yeah.
like that.
Hope asks, are you Milk Gang?
You milking? Yes.
Good. And you can read out that one.
Yeah, yeah. I can't. Well, I guess it's my parents would make me cute, right? It's like they made me.
Yeah.
I guess that's.
So from a
I
biological
don't know.
standpoint, that's why.
Yeah, yeah.
So there you
I'm-
go,
I'm
Danny.
made-
That's
built
the
cute.
that's the scientific reasoning. Yeah, you're gonna have Danny rolling up into your DMs. You think it's like a collaboration or something, and he's like, "Oh no, I just wanted to ask this question." Good
Oh, man.
parents.
Good, yeah, good parents.
Oh man.
Oh man, that's
No,
good stuff.
nobody said who they want next. I mean, I'm gonna try and get Rob on here. Rob doesn't know that, so special announcement, Rob.
There you go. Surprise.
It's very tough because I'm starting to get to the end of the amount of like devs there are, like that I can think of. I mean, I'm sure I'll be able to think of
Yeah.
loads of people afterwards, but you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing I'm gonna start struggling with because I know you've seen my my devloggers in real life video. I'm getting more people for that because like I think I did for my first. I guess for people who don't know, I made a video called devloggers in real life.
Oh,
Where I basically took like a bunch of devloggers and represented them in real life. I think I did 19 for the first one, and I'm probably gonna do the same amount for the next one. And like it's gonna get to the point where it's like I gotta have to stretch it or it might repeat. But yeah, I do think I think like a lot of the guests you've had are good repeats. But yeah, like Rob's a good example for
Yeah.
people can have. I saw Dual Wielded. There's Anders here too. Oh, Snowy's here, yo. Dude, sorry, I know. I met Snowy through like years ago through the Brackies forum.
Oh dang.
Yeah, it was like when it was pretty like smaller. It was like 4,000 members, I think. But yeah, I was active in it a lot, and so was Snowy. That's who's here.
Why is everyone in this chat a mod? That's a good question. I don't know. It's just all my friends, they type too much.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Dual Wielded. Oh yeah.
and
that's-
Steven's here too. Nice.
Oh yeah, I could contact Steven. We spoke earlier, so I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see. So that yeah, I'm gonna see who I can get on here. It's tough, you know,
Yeah.
because I'm the I think I'm the only game dev I can think of that actually does this. I think there was one
Yeah.
other person, and they actually asked my permission, which is quite funny. Like they were like,
That's nice.
can I do this? And I was like, yeah, go for it. And then they did like
Yeah.
2 episodes and invited me as well, which I thought was quite nice. So, but yeah,
There you go.
I mean, it's weird because like I was also the first person to do this. You know, this is coming up to almost 2 years I've been doing this. You know, I
Jeez.
mean, even though like, you know, it hasn't been super consistent, it's still been there like every so often. I mean, I'm trying to keep it consistent now if I can.
Yeah.
I haven't found any other game devs doing this, and I searched too. Yeah, I don't think there's many other people doing it. So it's quite easy to get people on to it, I think, because like, I mean, I'm gonna try my best to reach out to like bigger people if I can. I mean, I tried to get Sam Hogan on.
Oh, yeah.
But he's not like
Sam.
available at the moment. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna see who I can get on. I might see. I don't even know. Like, I can't even think of many people. I'm gonna try and get Thomas Brush on as well.
Oh, that'd be sick. That'd be.
I could get Yannick on as well. I mean, he's been on here actually.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah, he
trying.
was on the
Like at the
4%
moment,
one, I think.
like I'm trying to get as many unique people at the moment. So then, if I want to repeat, I can get them on for the 4-person one. Like that's the idea. So like, you know,
Yeah.
then you know the person, and then they come back again. So I mean, that's sort of what I want to go for. I mean, I think Blackthorn Prod's the person that's been on the most, which is quite interesting. I think he's been on
Yeah.
3 times. So, you know, hoping to have him again maybe if I can. It'd be cool though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
That'd be-
it's very interesting. So yeah, if anyone wants anyone in here, just let me know in my Discord, and I'll be down to see if I can get in contact with them. And also, you don't need to worry if they don't have webcams and stuff. That's fine too. I can still have my webcam, so it's not like webcam isn't a requirement. So yeah, I'll see who I can get on. How about Danny? We've talked about it. Something maybe, but I don't know, not at the moment. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching this Indie Dev Chat. It's been really cool talking to you, Garrett. Really appreciate you coming on. And yeah, hopefully we'll get you back sometime, maybe for a future episode, and we'll see. But yeah, good luck with your project. Good luck with your YouTube. Good luck with the dev vlogs and everything. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye everyone.